kids, welcome back. This is just a quickie RC Tools episode, if you will. So, I think probably one of the most important tools for me is a Dremel tool. When it comes down to anything to do with RC cars, RC boats, quadcopters sometimes, but mostly RC airplanes. Anytime you do that, a Dremel tool is the way to go. Now, the one I use, hang on a second, I actually have 3 or 4. I think I gave one to my son. This is the Dremel Mini Pro. You can look up the specs. This is 5,000 to 30,000 RPM, 1.15 amp. This one is the Dremel Moto tool, 5,000 to 30,000 RPM, 1.15 amp. These are identical. Usually there's a collar here that is a collar. These are manual chucks. I don't like these. I like the keyless chucks, but that's okay. So these aren't, I mean, they work. They're just in the one of the magic drawers. The one I use on the videos, and it's attached to my workshop, is this Dremel 3000. Replaceable brushes. Well, it looks like they all have that. Yeah, but the most important part is the flex shaft. Okay, now this you can buy reasonably cheap. It's like a boat prop or a boat shaft. It is a flex cable. Okay, I think the Dremel brand is around 20 bucks, maybe a little bit more. But this thing, worth its weight in gold. I mean, for getting into small places, blah 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 blah. Yeah, this is the lock for it, keyless chuck, which is indispensable. You have to have a keyless chuck. Don't use one of these without a keyless chuck. It's just don't. And how I do these, if you unscrew the shaft, let's see if you guys can see it. Okay, it's just got a collet just like a boat. Okay, then you take this flex shaft out. It's exactly the same thing. And every once in a while, shoot some shaft grease in it. Make sure it lines up on the end. There we go. Okay. And thread it back on, you're ready to go. Just throw some boat shaft grease in there, whatever you use. But I do it maybe twice a year. I use my Dremel every single day. Like, without fail, whether you guys see it on the videos or not, I use this thing literally every single day. For my other bench across the way, since I have 2 extras, people give me these as gifts. Like when I was younger, my mom would give me one for Christmas or whoever. That's why I have so many. Plus, I gave one to my son. So either way, buy this. Very, very cheap. You can get into great areas with it. Doesn't affect the RPM or torque so bad. Absolutely, absolutely love it. The other tool, this is what's in here is just a normal drill bit. Okay. Sanding drums. I'll put a link in the description of the sanding drums I use. I do not buy the Dremel ones. I buy these cheapos off of Amazon. And it's like, I don't think I have a bag of them. I don't know where they're at. I'm not going to look. I'll put the link in the description. You get a huge amount of, you get like a bunch of drums. They're little rubber friction drums that you just screw this in, squeezes it down, and locks up like any mandrel. Comes with multiple grits and a zillion. Now, is the paper super high quality? No. If it gets really hot, they tend to burn up. But that's okay. They're so damn cheap. The Dremel ones are so much more expensive that I don't mess with it. So those constantly, I use these constantly. And any types of cutters, little drill bits, carbide bits, whatever you want to use. And then these. If you order this and you got a couple extra bucks, buy these. These are called Easy Lock. I'll put a link in the description. So spring loaded, twist it. Comes off. This bit goes in your Dremel. This is a cutoff wheel, a fiber cutoff wheel. I use these for everything. You want to cut PVC plumbing? Use this. You want to cut wood off your boat, trim little bits of extra off so you don't have to sand it? Use this. And the thing I like about these on wood is they burn. Okay, because this is really made for metal and mostly metal. You can see it says metal. But the nice thing is, the good thing about it burning, it doesn't catch on fire. But it's almost like a laser burn. It really puts a callus, if you will, on the wood. It's kind of nice. So that is indispensable. One more thing is this. I'll put a link in the description of this. These are cloned to death. This is a tool and die drill, grinder, whatever you want to call it, but it's very, very high RPM. Okay, 56,000 RPM at 90. I run my compressor in the shop here at 110. So this thing boogies. This is pneumatic. Okay, carbide tips, and here's some carbide tips I got from a friend of mine back in the day. See if I can get the damn thing open. There we go. These are great. Okay. 2 wrenches. One goes here to lock in, and one goes here. Okay, there is no keyless chuck for these. At least not that I'm aware of. If you guys know of one, let me know. These things are the cat's ass. These are so fast and strong. Listen. I'm going to turn on as low as I can. Obviously not very strong. Now here's high speed. Get one of these. These are great. Now, most of the stuff we do, you don't need that high of RPM, but these are really handy to have, especially when you put in a really pointy carbide bit or a high tapered bit, something like this, where you can just literally feather metal. Say you want to make the holes in your rudder pickup bigger for more water pickup, things like that, things you would not use a drill for. And you can also use Dremel gadgets in here. It's the same diameter, pretty much, clutch-wise. But be careful. This thing goes at such a high RPM, certain things will just blow right off, right? So like if you're going to put a sanding drum on here, you're going to go like, and just slowly clickety-clickety-click, okay? Very, very cool. I'll put a link in the description for these. I love them. This one stays at my workbench where I do all my engine work. I don't use this on wood quite as much. This is more of my everyday stuff. So I don't really use the pneumatic one quite as much. So if you had to pick between one to buy, guys, if you have a Dremel or you need to get one, get the Dremel, get the flex shaft, get the keyless chuck. I'll put a link in the description for all of them. And then you can buy the generic Dremels too. It doesn't have to be Dremel, you know, Roto Tools, whatever they call them. And then this one in particular is a Nico, but air grinder. But if you look it up online on Amazon, you'll have 50 different brands that all look identical to this. Just turn this tumbler. Okay, make sure you keep it lubed. Shoot some WD-40 or preferably pneumatic oil down in here every once in a while, because a lot of RPM in there. Just shoot some oil down in that. 3-in-1 oil works really good. Marvel Mystery Oil works really good, or drill pneumatic tool oil, obviously. But 3-in-1's the cheap bet. You get it at any hardware store. And then just when you plug this in, next time you use it, boom, it's oiled. High RPM, make sure you keep it lubed. So that's about it. So until later on, keep dry side up. Bye.